Lucas slowing down for a moment to pause and get a look at Jones in the southpaw stance. Generally speaking, when they're in the middle of the ring like this, Eric Lucas doesn't throw many punches. What will the southpaw stance do for Jones here, George?
Well, for Lucas, it's important that he continue to do what he has been doing all the time. Let the other guy change up, but you stick. He's changing because you've done something to him that he doesn't like. So you stick to what you're doing, don't change. But because he doesn't have a record of many knockouts, I can't see why he's waiting for 1 or 2 punches. Lucas.
George, this guy's like a football team behind 35-0 at the half.
And running the ball.
And running the ball into the middle of the line.
Yeah, he's not trying to win the fight, I don't think.
He's trying to land a good shot.
George, the man's got 5 knockouts in over 20 fights. He doesn't have any good shots.
Sometimes you can't tell fighters that they don't have too many knockouts.
Apparently intent on fighting the whole round as a southpaw, but still leading mostly with the left. Now he considers switching back to his conventional stance and goes southpaw again.
He did not do it quick. Step 1 foot and then the other back. Normally he just skips it around.
Uppercut landed inside for Roy. Still landing a lot of punches here as round 8 continues. Right hand landed flush. Not landing with enough power to damage Eric Lucas and get him drunk.
He's making Lucas want to box this round.
Maybe Lucas's idea here is to break Roy Jones's hands on his jaw.
Give him a good description. Okay. There you go. Hit him a lot more now. We in 8. We're going to 9 now. Going to 9th round. How you feel?
Harold Lederman threw 8 rounds.
Way to work.
Give us your score, or do you have to give us your score?
Larry, I guess I got it the same way as everybody else. 8-0, 80-72, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones has landed all those good shots. When he went southpaw, certainly he drilled Eric Lucas with really good straight left hands. Eric Lucas just is not throwing punches, and that's why he can't win around. But very interesting. Roy Jones Jr. fades into the corners a lot. I think he's doing it to rest, I'll be honest with you. The basketball game may have taken something out of him because he does get a rest when he goes into the corners.
That's when Lucas mounts what for him might be considered offense. Through 8 rounds, Jones landing 39% of his punches. That's a little bit down from the kind of connect percentage he has been flashing in recent fights. And Lucas has gotten it up to 25%. He's now landed 53 punches in 8 rounds, and that's almost 7 punches around, Larry. Stepping it up. Jones with a right hand over the top. Crowd getting restless. They had been programmed to expect a knockout. Lucas taking a lot of blows to the head, and when he lands, as he occasionally does, usually to the body.
Well, the tide has turned, and it's obvious now that Roy Jones is having a time with this. It's no longer a fight that Lucas can pull out.
So you've You've discovered to your satisfaction that Lucas doesn't have the offense or the punch to do anything with having tired Jones out.
I would have thought after the 7th round that he'd go out and try to get a knockout, but he just doesn't have the punch and the sting in his punches to deliver a quick knockout. So he's got to wait and let Jones recuperate whenever he wants, rest, and hit him.
Now, should Jones satisfy himself with the easy decision here, or is it an embarrassment to him if he doesn't score KO?
I really don't think Roy Jones can get a good, clean knockout. So now he's going to make himself not look so good, but he should just stick to his jab, occasionally throw a good right hand and look for a quick knockout.
All great fighters have been in the ring with opponents who just wouldn't go.
Said about Muhammad Ali early on and with George Chuvalo. He did everything he could. Chuvalo was there every round.
You know, guys, there's now a cut on the bridge of Lucas's nose. I think a case can be made that this is a fight that should be stopped. He's taking a terrible licking. He has no chance to win this fight that anybody could see. He's put up a brave front.
He's being asked if he wants to stop, but he's okay. Take the opportunity to stay. Take the opportunity to fight and punch anytime you can. When he comes right next to you, just push him back. He's giving you the chance. Just push him right back.
C'est correct. Reste bas, c'est correct. Mais repousse. Back. Nick. Word up, high.
All right.
I think Yvon Michel has to start thinking about how much he loves his fighter, how much he wants them to fight in the future. Just being able to say he went the distance with Roy Jones, I don't know if that's worth this. What are your thoughts on that, George?
Well, you're a fighter. You're being paid. You didn't want to be a professional fighter? Take it. Go into basketball full time. Sometimes you dance to the music, you got to pay the piper.
And now there is blood flowing from both nostrils, in addition to from the cut across the bridge of the nose. And Eric Lucas is distracted enough by that he's not throwing back, and Jones is landing continuously. And I think Brian Gary is starting to think that this might not be a bad stoppage. Got to admire Lucas's guts.
Keep it up, Eric.
We've seen a lot of French Canadian fighters, tough guys when they get down to the States.
If Lucas doesn't open it up now, it's never. You got to fight Lucas. You don't have a chance.
Now he's too slow, George. If he opens up and throws a lot of punches, he's just going to get raked. He's going to get ripped by Roy Jones because of the disparity in hand speed and Jones's counter-punching ability.
He's done everything he should have done, but nature just didn't give him a punch.
That's right.
To make this thing switch. Sometimes a referee has got to look at that and say, hey, I don't think this guy can pull it out. Boy, but he could get a knockdown here. Boy.
So you wouldn't mind seeing the stoppage either.
Not at all.
It's going to be called a slip.
No punch, Roy. We'll just slip. Let's go.
Blood flowing freely from Lucas's nostrils. Still a minute 15 to go in the round. The four fighters who went the distance with Roy Jones were James Toney, Jorge Castro, Bernard Hopkins, all of them dangerous, hard-punching, good pros, and Fermin Chirino back in 1993, earlier in Jones's career.
I think it would do Jones better to fight more quality opponents.
Fascinating. think you've got a point, George.
Lucas did a fine job as far as strategy was concerned. Just doesn't have that dynamite punch that he needs to turn the tide.
Oh, that's the best punch of the fight. That hard left hook to the lower jaw of Eric Lucas, and Lucas was rocked back on his heels by that one.
I think if Roy was sitting ringside with us, he'd be saying, stop this fight.
He sure would. He's a big advocate of safety stoppages. Well, let's see if the ring doctor goes to Lucas's corner.
It's all right. It's all right. Good. How do you feel?
Comment ça te fait? Tu veux qu'on arrête?
He doesn't want to stop.
C'est sûr que je vais l'arrêter si tu lèves ta tête, te fais frapper comme ça. S'il arrive, si tu n'es pas capable de contrôler, retiens-les, pousse-les, mais reste pas devant lui comme ça. Tu comprends-tu?
Just push him back if he comes to you. Just push him right back.
Certain, là. Bon, mais il n'est pas
You sure you want to go?
C'est pas qu'il frappe extrêmement fort, mais là, tu laisses ta tête là, puis il frappe tout le temps. Quand ça arrive comme ça, soit que tu le frappes, soit que tu le retiens, mais tu l'empêches de continuer. Compris?
Punch him or
Il n'est pas question de
hold
t'arrêter
him
tes coups
on.
avec ta tête. Là, maintenant, reste
Don't
sur
use
tes
your
jambes.
head.
Parfait.
Stay on your legs.
Déplace, continue à te déplacer vers ta droite. Reste bas.
Stay
Okay?
low.
You shouldn't ask a fighter if he wants to go on. You tell the fighter.
That's what made Angelo Dundee so great. It has been great.
In round 10, Roy Jones dispensed with the jab and went with all power shots. He threw 83 power punches. That's all he threw in the round. He landed 40 of them. That's too much punishment for any man to have to take.
We've got a brave opponent and a brave referee. Too brave for my taste.
It's getting grim in there. A grim-looking exhibition now.
Well, you got to wonder about Roy Jones. You got a fellow on the edge like that. He doesn't want to quit. There's ways of winning boxing matches without destroying a human being.
Yeah, Roy doesn't enjoy this, George. I don't think that he likes it at all. I saw you waving to the ring, doctor, but you didn't get his attention, did you?
Nah. Now Roy Jones, if he's in good shape, he can just finish this with a nice left jab, body punches to make sure the guy doesn't hurt him.
Roy switching southpaw one more time. And just laying these punches in there, not really trying to commit to a punch right now because I think he's as concerned as all the rest of us are about the damage he might be doing to Lucas.
But you got to protect yourself because Lucas is still at this point trying to get Roy Jones.
Left hook to the top of the head. Straight right hand, snapping Lucas's head back. You just kind of wish that referee Brian Gary would take things into his own hands.
Lucas should just fight. Fight.
There he goes. There he goes.
Fight. Keep fighting.
Go into the body.
If you're going to be in the ring, fight.
Step back.
Yeah, because somebody in there is likely to be fighting. May as well make it you. Roundhouse right. Lucas takes that one just the way he's taken all the rest of them. Left hand snapping his head back. And if they came for blood, they're getting their money's worth.
It's now bleeding from the right eye of Lucas.
Eye, nose, mouth. Right on the point of the chin with that left hand.
Now, if the referee didn't stop it earlier, he need not stop it now.
Bleeding real hard.
We got one left.
One round left.
He's got one left.
Let me close it up there now. That's a bad cut. That's a bad cut. One last round.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, no, no.
No, we're not
Doctor
going.
wants
This is it.
Good for the doctor.
This is it.
Good for the doctor. TKO for Roy Jones, and not a moment too soon.
I think that was cruel, though. He's got beaten all those rounds. He wanted to go to 12th round and shouldn't have been stopped. Roy Jones is not going to get any more powerful now. He could have went home with the victory that I went 12 rounds with the great or the good.
So your opinion changed as the 10th round came to an end.
Sure, after it's gone 12 rounds, don't step up and stop the fight then. It's not like Roy Jones is going to come on stronger.
I don't know, George. I just don't know what point would be made by letting him fight the 12th round. I understand what you're saying, but we all know that Jimmy Garcia got way too much punishment against Gabe Ruelas.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. That is right. You got to consider that.
Harold, how'd you score it?
Well, Jim, 110-98, 11 rounds to nothing. Roy Jones Jr. He wins all the way. I mean, absolutely way ahead in this fight. I scored the 10th round 10-8 because he beat up Eric Lucas so bad in that 10th round. I mean, it was certainly a 10-8 round without a knockdown. And I want to tell you, Jim, I agree with you, with Brian Gary 100%. I would have stopped the fight. This kid took a terrible beating. Roy Jones Jr. still a magnificent one, still one of the best in the world. A hard hitter, great leverage, great punches, really good power. He kills you.
And he gradually took Eric Lucas apart, paced himself in the first 6 rounds, maybe a little bit drained after the afternoon of play in basketball, maybe not, but for whatever reason, he didn't really open up and start unloading the kitchen until around round 7 or 8, and then once he did, it was target practice. So with Roy Jones having scored the technical knockout over Eric Lucas, here's Michael Buffer with the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Brian Gary, acting on the advice of the physician ringside, calls a halt to the bout. The official time. The knockout comes at the end of round 11. Winner by TKO and still the undefeated IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
All right, final punch stat numbers in the 11 rounds of action between Roy Jones and Eric Lucas, and you can see the huge disparities in punches landed, punches thrown, etc. Lucas eventually bringing those statistics up for himself, but Jones thoroughly dominant throughout the bout. Larry Merchant is standing by with the winner.
Roy, congratulations. Did playing basketball last night and this afternoon take anything out of you?
No, I don't think it took anything out of me physically. First of all, let me take time out to thank God for giving me the opportunity to come out and do the things that I do, the way that I'm doing. And I thank God that we both had a successful night and no one got injured. Now, basketball, it takes a little bit out of you, you know, but it's really mental. And it's just like jogging and a fighter getting themselves down in weight a couple of days before the fight. They put out a lot, and they work, and they work, and they work, and then they have to come in and fight.
Would you do this against a formidable opponent?
Yeah.
Would you play basketball before against a formidable opponent?
Yeah, just give me one.
What was the point you're trying to prove? Would you tell us by playing basketball and fighting?
Well,
what point is there?
Well, it's like De La Hoya has Chavez, he has my friend Ike Quartet, he has Trinidad, he has a lot of people out there for opposition. I don't have anybody that the public demands to see me fight or that you guys really want to pay me enough to take a chance and go out there and fight. So I started creating challenges for myself. Basketball to prove that I can go play basketball, come out here, watch Smoking Main fight, then come and fight, prove something to myself. That anything I set my mind to, I can do. That gave me the urge to get up for this fight. Normally, I would have looked terrible against this guy because he's a durable guy. I would have ran out of things to do. My mind wouldn't have been sharp, and this would have been a horrible night for me.
All right, let's look to the future now. Tommy Hearns was here tonight. Are you getting ready to negotiate a fight with Tommy Hearns?
I think Tommy Hearns and Fred Levin and Harold Smith and them were trying to work something out for a fight. But if I beat Tommy Hearns, I really haven't did anything. If I injure Tommy Hearns, I'll make myself look bad. So I don't really know if I want to negotiate that fight. But I will like to fight somebody like Virgil Hill. Or if y'all pay me some money, I'll fight Lou Del Valle. If y'all pay me the money, I'll fight whoever y'all want to see me fight. Just let's go sit down, do some talking. I really would want to go ahead and fight Virgil while I feel like I can make the weight easy.
All right, thank you very much, Roy Jones. Back to you, Jim and George.